Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Today is coffee talk time. That's when I just pick subjects and maybe other teachers and whatever we want to talk about. And today I'm going to go back into the I Am Discourses. This is very exciting because I'm just going to take segments and we're going to talk about how it applies to you and talk about what it really means. I'm on Discourse 1, page 9. A humorous sense of getting away from a thing is sometimes the quickest and most powerful way of doing it. For a buoyant, joyous feeling releases the energy that many times enables a very wonderful manifestation to take place. So we're going to talk about humor and how you can use it to completely turn things around. How does that happen? All right, I'm going to tell you what humor does. You will look younger. Why? Because you're happy. And you can tell when somebody's walking down the street, even if they're not smiling, if they're happy or not, right? That's an energy. And when you put that energy out, you actually connect to other energies, raise other frequencies, and affect other people in the room. You can tell when somebody walks in the room if they're negative or if they're unhappy, right? So if you can find humor, and I do it often, usually by myself, I spend a lot of time laughing. If I trip, I will laugh. Even if I bruise myself, I will laugh. I think it's funny. I will do the goofiest things, make mistakes, and I'll sit and laugh. Why? Because life is funny. And if you don't laugh, what's the alternative? And that's an energy field. And when I go into that, life's challenges stop being a problem. You can actually shift energy. So when we say, well, if you use a sense of humor to, no, we're talking about real energy shifts here that'll actually change everything. You'll actually look at life differently. Can you laugh? So people ask me when I get on here, because I'm sitting in a room by myself right now, people ask me like, why do you laugh? And I said, I don't know. I just think everything's funny. I mean, I laugh sometimes at the most inappropriate times. But I think life is funny, right down to sometimes death is funny. All right, if one will buckle down to brass tacks and call on the law of forgiveness, he can then consume all past creations in the consuming flame and be free. You must be conscious that the flame is the active presence of God doing the consuming. The freedom of God is here in action. When there is something that isn't so funny, and you have your situation where you just can't let go of something, you can imagine the flame of God. Now we think of fire as something negative and, going down to the other place, right? There is no other place. God is everything. Water, wind, everything, earth, and fire, right? Earth, Wind, and Fire. Great group, by the way. I love their songs. What are you going to do with it? Well, you can dissolve it. Now I have meditations where we push energy out and we allow it to dissolve out in the cosmos. You can take a negative feeling, energy, memory, whatever it is, and imagine it going into the flame of God, not just a flame, a destructive thing, you want to get rid of it, you have anger behind it, but the flame of God. In other words, it's going to be held in the most beautiful way. So it's going to be dissolved, it's going to burn up and go off into some other creation, right? We can only transform. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so it's transformed into something else. It's no longer your burden. So if you can't find humor in something, and something is there, and it's a very negative, powerful energy, and there's no getting you to laugh about anything like that, imagine that and let it go and allow it to be consumed by the flame of God. The freedom of God is here in action. Now what is God? God can be anything for you. All right, we all have, somebody doesn't like, or I don't say God, well, it's just a name, it's a word. Source, one, Allah, whatever you think God is the one, all loving, all encompassing in everything. Okay, when you have a feeling to do a certain constructive thing, go ahead, stick to it and do it. Now this is that intuition we talk about. We get that feeling. It's constructive. It just feels right. Somebody said, how do I know if it's my ego or not? Well, if it feels really positive and good, you cannot make a mistake. Do it, stick to it, and do it if the heavens fall. Go through with it. A lot of us, we use fear. If you guys want to take my e-course, you can click here and go into my email list and get a huge discount. I teach people to move past that fear. So what happens is you may get a great idea and you move forward, and then people quit. They quit. They don't follow through. They never know what the final result is, right? And so they quit, and then they go, oh, this doesn't work. It's difficult. There's a fear in there. That's that whole negative energy, that whole story you're telling yourself that you need to put in the flame of God and burn it up. Find humor in everything and say, you know what? Life is fun and funny. Let's go after. My heart tells me that this is a constructive pathway for me to go down. A lot of you are not doing that. You know, I have internet courses, landriaonkka.net. Go there. We have internet courses changing people's lives, and it just blows my mind that people prefer to live in unhappy lives, working their butts off, worrying about money, having no time for their families. They're exhausted because they're afraid to go into something new. Even if they tell themselves, like, it feels right, but you get somebody who says, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, or what are you doing, or that's silly, or you want to be an artist, or, well, you can't make money doing that. And then we do that. We stop. We don't follow through. It says, stick to it. Do it if the heavens fall. Well, we know they're not going to fall, which means you got to hang in there. All right? Whether the manifestation, this is the key, whether the manifestation comes now or not, should not enter into your consciousness at all. This is when we're going into advanced manifesting. Advanced manifesting is you must be on it every split second. You've got to be on it. So you can't let anything enter at all. That takes you off that path. So you're on that path and you're going, okay, I got to do this till the heavens fall. I'm going to go. All that other crap, I threw it in the flame of God, had a good old bonfire over here, and then we're over here on this pathway. We're going to stick to it. I'm feeling it's right. People are going, blah, 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 you shouldn't do that. Internet marketing, stupid, or whatever it is, right? You stick to it. And then, right, then you have these doubts, these things that, whether the manifestation comes now or not, should not enter into your consciousness at all. What if it doesn't work? Boom! You now just went to a negative thought. 3-second manifesting, right? Catch it. Whoa. Every time you do that, you are placing doubt into the manifestation. You're creating that manifestation. You're going after it now. You're not going to quit. And if you have one thought, it doesn't serve you to have those thoughts. If you question it, how does that help anything? It's actually really affecting your final manifestation. That thought's affecting the final outcome. Why would you do it? Well, we're programmed. We're so used to negativity, and everybody around us encourages that. You're doing that? What? That's right. We get it all the time, and especially if you have a spouse at home that discourages you. You know, boy, we've got some people doing stuff in my internet marketing that they have to go home to people that discourage them. Well, what happens when they're successful? Ooh, now it's the greatest thing since, sliced bread. You stick to what you know. It is not their life. It's your life. I don't care if you're married to them, if they're your parents, whatever. What do you want to do with your life? You came here for that path. You do it. If you know it's right, if it's a positive thing, and the toughest thing is going to not question yourself. Don't allow it in. Even when students only know a thing intellectually, they should not allow the mind to keep recalling wrong conditions when they know what this activity does to their success. They know, students of manifesting, you guys know that thought is affecting the final outcome, and they do it anyways. Take my Breakthrough Fear course. Go to landriaonkka.com. Take my Breakthrough Fear course. We deal with this because it's a habit we all have. I don't have you get rid of, eliminate fear. We break through it. So when it happens, you're not reacting to it. Because the worst thing is, okay, I'm not going to have that thought. And you're actually really focusing on the thought then at that point, right? I'm not going to have it. Oh, there it is again. And then you're focusing on the negative thought of not wanting it. Then you're battling it. I teach you how to do none of that. How to get away from all of that. And all of a sudden you go into this very positive space. It is unbelievable that people will not conquer this enemy in their consciousness. It's unbelievable. No student can ever gain the victory until he stops turning back to the old negative conditions he's trying to get rid of. The whole, this is in my e-course. The whole work of a teacher is to get some means and explanation over to the student of the activity of acceptance. That's where we go. We go into acceptance. That's the toughest thing. Acceptance. Don't battle anything. I'm not going to battle it anymore. Can I accept this? Because I can change it. Through acceptance, you can change anything. Why? You're not battling and focusing on the negativity, and you know that whatever you're seeing out there is not real. You're creating that, but the source of it is here. So when you're focused on that, you're saying that's how things are, instead of I'm going to change how things are. And through my positive manifestations and thoughts and consciousness, I now can change all this out here. Because everything you're seeing, you created. God didn't do that. I got a hair in my eye. God didn't do that. You have the power of God in you, and you're doing it. Want to change it? Stick to whatever it is. Boom. Throw it in the flame of God and dissolve anything that's hanging around that you've been carrying around. Find humor in things. Raise that frequency. Laugh a lot. Go with your intuition. Go after that path and never quit. And do not let that thought in. Don't you let that thought in. You see it and you say, I don't believe that anymore. I just don't believe it anymore. What is it? Where'd that come from? Why would I even have a negative thought? It makes no sense. And then you start to train yourself. Or you take my e-course and we do that. By the way, there's a huge discount. If you guys look down here, Inspiration with Landria, it's like 1/3 of the price off. Start training yourself. That's what you're going to have to do to get past this. Sorry, it's not going to go away overnight unless you're spontaneously awakened. And those people that are spontaneously awakened spent years of suffering. That's not spontaneous to me, right? Eckhart Tolle, Buddha, years of suffering. That's not spontaneous. That's like a long path to awakening. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle. Start now. All right? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.